All right, gang, this week we're going to wrap up the Netherlands Magazine project. As you will recall, hopefully, the project is due this Friday. Okay, this Friday at what? Let's take a quick look. Up you'll upload your magazine here. Let's double check our time when it's due. Friday the 18th at 11:55 p.m. Okay, so we want to make sure we have that done and uploaded. So let's go ahead and do that. I've got to wrap up a little more editing here. I want to add some more photos and probably make a few changes here and there. Okay, I've got all of my text placed. Okay, and it runs right to the edge there. It doesn't leave a lot of space here for photographs. Okay, not the way I'm planning them. Okay, so I might need to change a little bit of that stuff around as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Well, let's make a little more space so we can add a little more in the way of photographs. Okay, I've got a gap here and I got a gap here. And I could just well, let's just move some stuff around. This is flowing text, so we can actually move our stuff down here and see where we are if we like have those full columns. Okay, now that's pure text through there. That's a little too much. Okay, so I think what I'm going to need to do is either make my text a little bit smaller or make for a little more room. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to click on my title here. And I'm going to move this up. I'm going to grab my guideline. And let's see, I'll put it right about, actually let's put that right about there. Move my text box right to there. And move the other guideline up to about, let's say, that ought to do it. And so we'll move this up a little bit, this one too. And let's see where that takes us. Okay, that's really close, but I want more space though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and double click on this so I can grab all of my text. Now notice up here, okay, I've got my type character bar, okay, because text is selected, it automatically switched over to my text character bar here, okay. Now the default settings are pretty decent here, but this is 12-point font, okay. 12-point font is actually a little on the large size when it comes right down to it. You might not realize this, but most magazines and books, the font size is closer to 10 or 11. So we can actually knock these down and still be okay. So let's go with 11. See where that takes us. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right. Let's try one more at 10. Now that gives us quite a lot of space to work with, doesn't it? Okay. So I think 10-point might work. Okay, if you're not feeling comfortable with that, that's fine. You can knock it up to 11 or whatever. But in this case, what I can do is I can add a lot more in the way of photographs. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's start adding photos. Let's see. Let's do something here. Take this down. Actually, I got a better idea. I will just delete that one. Okay. And what I can do, I'm actually moving this down a little bit. Let's see what we have there. Yeah, that might not work so hot. Okay. Okay, so, just thinking if I have something on the edge there, something right there. Let's have a long photograph in here somewhere and two short ones along here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to grab a, I deleted this one out of here. So what I need to do is maybe set this one over here, and I'll create a new text box over here. So I'm going to make this a little shorter so that, okay, so I got my text box over here. I don't need to create a new one. I can just use this one. Okay. So they're all linked up. I'm going to have a long shot over here. I'm going to have a short one over here. So let's go ahead and kind of figure out how big we can go with some of our photographs. Again, flowing text makes this super easy. Okay. It's a little too big, so let's go something like that. So you can kind of play around, just going back and forth until you figure out what size you want these things to be. All right, I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap right there. Okay, so I'm going to have a bigger photo here, smaller photo there, and another big one right over here. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and start placing these. Now you can either have these photos bleed off, or you can have them fall within the margins. If you want to go ahead and do some more research on magazine layout, you can do that. You can go either way with it. And I think in this case, what I'm going to do, I have this photo in black and white, but I think I'm going to have the other one in color. Okay, so let's go ahead and start placing some photos. Grab my tool right here, and I'm looking at my spacing right there. Okay, and let's go ahead and add another one right here, like that. Okay, I need to make that just a touch smaller. So I've got a nice gap there. See that? Nice margin. And then let's put one over here. Something like that. Okay. Now they're all placed and ready to go, and I can just start putting photos in. Let's start with this one here. Okay, so let's go up to File and Place, and notice that I made my preview photos a little bit bigger so I could actually see what I'm looking at. Now this photo is fairly vertical. Okay, now that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to use a vertical photo in there. You know, there's quite a few of them. You know, we could have the, you know, that's kind of cool. We could use something like that. Or if you want something with people in it, you know, that would be good too. There's a lot of pictures of architectural stuff. Okay, spires, and we got canals of Amsterdam. That's kind of nice. And I like this picture of the children fishing too. I might have mentioned that before. So kind of look through and see what might work. I think that, you know, the windmills are kind of oh, I don't know. Uh, I don't know. I think I might just stay away from those. Oh, there's a main street with a lot of people in it and stuff like that. That's kind of nice. I think for this one though, I think I'll go with that canal photo. So let's go ahead and grab that. We'll open that, and yeah, look at that. That's almost perfectly placed right there. Let's double click on it and see how big it is. Actually, I'm going to make this just a touch smaller here, not too much, but I'm also going to move it over this way slightly. Just a touch. There we go. That's about right. Because I want it a little off center. Okay. I like when things are off center, so it's kind of a little veering a little more toward the edge there. Okay. Um, Oh, this is the view. This is a picture taken from that looks like part of a bicycle. Okay, fine. Okay, now let's go ahead and put something in here. So we'll do the same thing again, place. I think here I'm gonna go with maybe the children fishing or the market scene. Yeah, let's see. Taking a quick look at these. You know, there's a lot of flower photos here, and that's all fine and good, but I don't know. I like to have people in the shots. You could have one with um, people and flowers. I'm not really wild about that sign there. That's kind of disruptive. And same thing with the fence right here. Um, let's go ahead and pop this one in. Okay, and there. Let's take a look at our size and our placement and stuff. Now, the standard sort of idea would be to, have the thing centered, but I think off center might work better. That's why I'm kind of moving it back and forth. The size is actually pretty good. Yeah, something like that. Let's make sure we don't have a tangent between the edge of this person here and the margin of the photograph. Let's make it just a touch smaller so we don't have one here as well. We don't want a tangent showing up, so resize this a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. There, now we got a tangent on both sides. That's not what we want. So let's make it just a little bit smaller still. Hold down that shift key. And there we can make this off center a little bit. Bring that down just a touch. There we go. And that's, a nice thing about InDesign is you can create your frames and it allows you to more or less edit your photos as you're placing them. Okay? So I think that works pretty well. And then the last thing here, not the last thing, we do have one more thing we need to do. The last photo we're going to place, we'll put right here. So let's place, let's see, and we want to do have the one with the kids, or, yeah, I think the kids will work. Now, notice this is a very vertical shot, but it's, this is a horizontal photo. So I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. Let's give it a try. Let's go ahead and open that. And, oh wow, this thing's huge. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit so we can see the edges of it. Zoom out even further. Oh, look at that thing. It's gigantic. All right, so let's hold down our shift key and start sizing her down. Okay. Like I said, I'm not sure if this one's going to work or not. Might not be able to have both kids in the photo. There. Decide which kid. Mm, no, I think the redhead with the pigtails probably works a little bit better. So let's have her off center. She's got her little boots on and all that. You can see a reflection of the house across the little pond there. So right about there. All right, we'll call that good. Let's see if that's. Hmm. Now, it looks a little pixely, but remember that these are just links to the photographs, okay? So it actually should be okay once it's exported, okay? And we're going to try something new with the exporting as well. Now, there is one thing that is left to do that's not in the text here and all of that. And if you go ahead and double check our assignment specs here, go back to our main page. Okay, let's see, Netherlands. Okay, here we go, page layout 1, project 2, our spec sheet. Open it up. Okay. Let's see. It says that, okay, give yourself a credit as designer, a fictitious person as a photographer at the beginning or end of the article. So we're going to put that at the beginning. Now what I'm going to do, I'll just go ahead and grab this and copy that. And I'll just go back to InDesign here. And what I'm going to do is just create a text box right here. And let's see, we are at a 12-point font. Okay, that's the default. Minion Pro, that's what we've got going on down here. Let's go ahead and just paste that in there. Oh, look at that. See if it's going to show up, man. Okay. Okay, something weird going on there. That didn't work. Okay. Well, okay, so that's I usually like to copy and paste stuff as as a rule, so I don't get it wrong, but not a big deal. Let's go ahead and yeah, that's weird. We have this weird thing showing up. I'm seeing if I can. There it is. Okay, it was just, oh, that was weird. Okay. Um, let's see. Well, that looks terrible. So let's make this smaller and let's change the size a little bit. Yeah, something weird going on there with my text. It automatically wanted to have it be like white. So here, let's do that. Designed by Joe Student. Okay, so let's go with put in your own name, and then photography by Larry Student. Sure, whatever. No big deal. Okay, so that's all set. That was the last thing that I really needed to do on this. So let's zoom out a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and save this, but I'm not going to save it as Netherlands Magazine template. So let's do a save as, and let's take a quick look at at what we have here. Saving your project. It says save your document in your projects folder. Okay, blah blah blah. Um, you know, there's another way we can save these things too. Maybe I'll show you guys that instead. We've been saving stuff as PDFs, okay, for the most part. And there's also ways to package stuff as well. But in this case, first off, we're just going to save our InDesign file. So I'm going to put my last name in here so I get credit for having done it. Netherlands Magazine. I'm just going to call this, final. You can see that's the old version that I did from last year. Save. And yeah, would have replaced any old version that I had from like last year or something like that. Let's take another quick look at it. Now, what we're going to do next, we can go ahead and let's go ahead and export this as a PDF. Now, my preset is already from the last time saved as smallest file size. So we can do that. We'll go ahead and export it as a PDF. Uh, Print PDF, okay. And again, that's from last year, so let's go ahead and see where we're top of that. And it's going to give me some, a summary here. I've got a little exclamation point here, and so I need to check out and make sure that everything's okay. I guess what we have here, oh, it's because I am using the smallest font. Oh, some of my fonts are not embedded. Okay, that's because of this headline here. That's not an embedded font. But that shouldn't be a problem as a PDF. Okay, let's go back to general for a second. One thing that you're going to want to do for your PDF, since we have this set up as facing pages, instead of export as pages, which is the default, you're going to want to click on spreads. Okay, that will allow the spreads, which is the two-page spreads, to be exported. Okay, so let's go ahead and export that. And let's see, no errors, everything's all right there. Okay, and we should be all set there. Let's go ahead and take a look and make sure that it is where it needs to be. Ulrich Netherlands Magazine, final PDF. Let's go ahead and go click on that. See if it worked. Okay, and there's our spread. And it looks pretty good. Okay, so our PDF is done. That is ready to upload. Notice that this girl who looked all bitmappy, okay, in InDesign looks fine here. Okay, like I said, you don't have to worry about if things look kind of chunky and weird in InDesign. Remember, photographs that you place are only links to photographs. That's why I need to package stuff or save it as a PDF. Okay. All right, so that worked. Now we'll try one more thing here, and that's another way to save your work. Okay, and that is as an EPUB. You might have noticed that when I clicked on export, that was what was set. I switched it real fast to PDF, but there you go. So we'll hit export again, and let's go ahead and click on EPUB and fix the layout. Okay, and we'll just click on that. All right, and let's see. We'll double check our stuff here. General, EPUB, range, all pages. Good. First page, that's good. Conversion settings, we got 150 DPI, that's pretty good. Image quality is high, that'll be nice. Okay, we don't need to know all that extra stuff here, and it's not really terribly important. Later on we might need to, but we'll just click OK. All right, and now it's going to go ahead and open it up. Let's go ahead and close that out. And here is our EPUB, and it looks good there too. Okay, so either one of those ways of saving, okay, should work fine. What we've been using so far are our PDFs. PDFs work really good with Moodle, so that's what I would probably stick with. But EPUBs might work as well. Okay, they should work unless Moodle's got some funky thing going on. All right, so remember, this is due this Friday, the 18th at 11:55 p.m. I look forward to seeing your guys' stuff, okay? And I will talk to you later. Ciao.